Madeleine McCann. A 3-year-old girl disappears without a sound in a quiet holiday resort in Portugal. Her parents were dining nearby, just steps away. When her mother checked the room, Madeleine was gone. No forced entry, no witnesses, just questions. The case exploded into one of the most famous missing child investigations in history. Years later, a new suspect was named, but no official resolution. Nearly 2 decades later, there are still no confirmed answers. Name: Madeleine McCann. Location: Praia da Luz, Portugal. Age: 3 years old. Status: ongoing investigation. What really happened to Madeleine McCann? His last words were, "Oh, shh." 19-year-old Brandon Swanson was driving home after a party. He accidentally drove into a ditch on a dark rural road. He called his parents for help and stayed on the phone while walking toward what he thought was town. For nearly 47 minutes they talked as he walked through fields in total darkness. Then suddenly he shouted, "Oh, shh." The line went dead, and Brandon was never heard from again. Massive searches followed. His car was found, but Brandon was gone. What happened in those final seconds? Name: Brandon Swanson. Disappeared May 14th, 2008. Location: Minnesota, USA. Age: 19 years old. Last words on phone: "Oh, shit." Then silence. What really happened to Brandon Swanson? A 14-year-old boy walks into London and never returns. His name was Andrew Gosden. He was just 14. That morning, he left home for school, but never arrived. Instead, he bought a one-way ticket to London and refused a return. CCTV captured him arriving at King's Cross Station. He walked out alone. And then, nothing. No confirmed sightings, no phone activity, no trace. Was he meeting someone? Running away? Or did something happen the moment he stepped into the city? Years later, Andrew has never been found. Name: Andrew Gosden. Disappeared September 14th, 2007. Location: London, UK. Age: 14 years old. Caught on CCTV arriving in London, never seen again. What really happened to Andrew Gosden? In 1959, 9 experienced hikers vanished in the frozen Ural Mountains, and what rescuers found still haunts investigators today. Their tent was discovered ripped open from the inside. No signs of a struggle, no footprints of an attacker. The hikers had fled into the deadly cold, barefoot. Their bodies were scattered across the snow. Some died from hypothermia, but others had injuries so severe, doctors compared them to a car crash. Crushed ribs, fractured skulls, yet almost no external wounds. One victim was missing her tongue. Even stranger, traces of radiation were found on their clothes. No animal attack, no clear avalanche, no proven explanation. More than 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the world's most chilling, unsolved mysteries. What really scared them into the night? An 8-year-old girl walked out of her apartment and vanished forever. Nicole Moran told her mother she was going downstairs to meet a friend. She never made it. Police searched the building, every floor, every stairwell. Someone may have seen her, but no one has ever spoken. What really happened inside that building? A college student crashes her car and disappears. Her name was Maura Murray. She was 21 years old. She suddenly left campus, emailed professors about a family emergency, then drove north alone. Hours later, her car was found crashed on a rural road. A local resident stopped to help. She declined assistance. Police arrived minutes later, but Maura was gone. No footprints leading away, no signs of struggle, just snow and silence. Did she run into the woods? Was she picked up by a stranger? Or did something more sinister happen? Nearly 2 decades later, there are still no answers. Name: Maura Murray. Disappeared February 9th, 2004. Location: New Hampshire, USA. Age: 21 years old. Vanished after a mysterious car crash on a rural road. What really happened to Maura Murray? A 9-year-old girl left her home in the middle of the night. Her name was Asha Degree. She was just 9 years old. During a powerful storm, she quietly packed a small bag and walked out. Multiple drivers reported seeing a young girl walking along a dark highway alone. When one driver turned around to check on her, she ran into the woods. Search teams combed the area for days, but Asha was gone. Over a year later, her backpack was discovered, buried miles away. More than 2 decades later, her case remains unsolved. What made her walk into the storm? Name: Asha Degree. Disappeared February 14th, 2000. Location: North Carolina, USA. Age: 9 years old. Left home in the middle of a storm. Motive remains unknown. What really happened to Asha Degree? Imagine boarding a flight and then vanishing forever. On March 8th, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur heading to Beijing. Less than an hour later, it disappeared from radar. No distress call, no warning. The plane suddenly changed direction and flew toward the Indian Ocean. Despite the largest search operation in aviation history, only small pieces of debris were ever found. 239 passengers and crew were on board. To this day, no one knows exactly what happened. Was it pilot suicide, hijacking, or something else? The mystery of MH370 remains unsolved. Subscribe for more unsolved mysteries